Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Today in Quarantine. It's episode 32, and I'm, as always, your host, Renee Cross, coming to you live from here in Lincoln, Nebraska, the center of the United States. And that's all right. It's a common myth. I'm from Connecticut originally, and it's a common myth that Nebraska is just corn. And I'm here to tell you it's 90% true. The 10% is cities like Lincoln and Omaha and Kearney and Grand Island and everything like that, where there's no corn. So just remember that. Just because somebody's in Nebraska doesn't mean they're in the middle of a cornfield all the time. That was a very common myth when I got started. When I started coming out here to Nebraska, people would be like, "Hey, are you like in the middle of the corn?" I was like, "No, it's I'm in the middle of a city." And then some people would come out here to visit, and they're like, "Oh wow, yeah, this is really nice. This is a nice city." I'm like, "Yeah, we told you that." But that's fine. Didn't listen. That's okay. But anyway, I've lived here for the past coming up on 6 years, which is weird. But yeah, it's been a good experience, and we're here and you know doing our thing, so that's exciting. Um, I didn't think would. Um, I didn't think I would like it here enough to stay here for a long time. But lately, I've been feeling like, oh, okay, yeah, I can stay here. That's fine. I can do that. Um, so that's kind of reassuring, at least for a little bit. I don't know for forever, but yeah, the internet does work out here. Thanks for asking. But the internet does work out here clearly, as I am on the internet right now broadcasting this. It does work, and it's quite fast. At least where I am. I mean, there's some places I'm sure where the internet's not quite as fast. I have some coworkers who live in rural areas and they don't have great internet, but for everything else, works pretty great. I'm able to live a normal life. And people say there's nothing to do here, um, which guess I don't know. I didn't do anything when I was in Connecticut, and I don't really do anything now that I'm so not really sure what they mean when they say there's nothing to do here. There's a lot of good food. True story. There's more good food here than Connecticut. Um, Although they do not have in Lincoln, there is not a good Jamaican bakery, which is something that I miss with all my heart. So if you're somewhere in Nebraska watching this and you know of a good Jamaican bakery, please let me know. Your girl would like some cocoa bread and cheese or something. So just let me know. Let me know. Just kind of a couple life updates today in quarantine. Or yesterday in quarantine, I bought a bike. Woohoo! I actually switched styles and went with a road bike instead of a mountain bike like I've had for pretty much my whole life since I could ride an actual bike. I've always had a mountain bike, but I decided to go with a road bike today, or not today, yesterday. And so far, I really, really like it. It's really fast. Um, and this was kind of proved to me. Yes, so on my old bike, which was an older, cheaper bike, mountain bike, normal. What did it have? Like 6 speeds or 7 speeds on it. Decent bike. Um, my I was doing about an average speed of about 6.5 miles per hour. Not too bad. On this bike, I took it out yesterday, and my average speed yesterday was about 10 miles per hour, which is mind-blowingly faster. And it feels faster too. It's a lighter bike, so you can just ride it faster. I mean, you can't because it's not a mountain bike. You can't really take it on to like mountain trails, but you can, ride it on pavement, which is a lot of what Lincoln has. They have a lot of pavement um, trails, not as many gravel or like woodland trails because we don't have any woods out here. Um, but most of it's pavement writing, and that's mostly what I do. I mean, the one thing I don't think I'll be able to do as well is probably ride around Holmes Lake. Holmes Lake has gravel and there's sharp rocks. Um, but I was talking to a friend, and I might be able to get some hybrid tires, which can make your tire. You can get a tire that's a little bit wider, so that you can um, go on gravel or something like that as well. Anyway, I've been enjoying that. I ended up riding it this afternoon as well, and just it's a nice little ride. I ended up buying it at Shields actually here in town. And it's interesting just kind of being around and having to do. And some stores are doing or like taking very extra precautions. And then some stores don't seem to be doing as much. For example, Walmart, almost all their employees, if not all of them, have on masks. Pretty standard, you know. They have those like 6 feet apart, 6 feet apart signs on the floor, type of thing. And they do have places where people can line up. And I'm supposing that at some point in the day, they reach a capacity in the store where they can't let any more people in. And so that's why they have people line up. But in the times that had to go to Walmart in the past couple of weeks, I've not seen a line. I just seen like lanes where people can go in. But on the other hand, Shields, where I bought the bike yesterday, they don't like. I didn't see any employees with masks. They're really all the precautions that they looked like they were taking was they had a sign that says please practice social distancing while inside the store. So, you know, no bunching, stay 6 feet apart, all that. So that was very interesting to see. I thought that a bigger corporation like that would have been doing more, but I guess not. I guess not. And that's okay. I guess it's their prerogative. I mean, with some stores, they're big enough so that you're not going to have crowds of people. It's not like in Walmart where you have, you know, a ton of people in the spaghetti aisle or tons of people trying to buy toilet paper or something like that. The Shields here is pretty big. They actually have a Ferris wheel inside the Shields, which is insane, I believe. So, yeah. Maybe it's because my mom says maybe because the customer population is less than at Walmart. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm definitely thinking that. But I just found it funny that, or not funny, but it just didn't seem like they had been thinking through the social distancing. Yeah, but Shields is huge. There is a Ferris wheel in it. It's a full size Ferris wheel. It's 2 stories tall. It's like the size of a small mall, which is huge. But even there, they have this like aquarium where this like uh, an arch of an aquarium that goes over the entrance. You walk in, and then there's a cash registers, and then there's a arch of fish. So it's kind of a cool store. Um, I have not been on the Ferris wheel. Um, I what? Let's see. Why did I not go on it once? I went there with Jovan once, and uh, Jovan is very like, yeah, why we don't need to do that. So why are we going to do that? But I wanted to go, and he's like, no, we don't need to go on the Ferris wheel. So we didn't. We just kind of walked around. The store itself has more attractions. There's like a candy store inside the store. Of course, Shields is a sports store, so they've got all their different little sections. You know, their bike section, their weight section, their kayaking section, their hunting section, and then they have like a clothes section, which is literally just the bottom floor. So it's just a lot of different stuff in there. They have these animatronics of presidents and founding fathers, like Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson, are these, you know, 6 feet tall moving robots. And there's 4 score and 7 years ago, our fathers. So it's a very interesting story to be in. I had a friend who was teaching and was saying, yeah, you know, I have students who go to Shields to hang out on the weekends because it's just that big. And yeah, I mean that was pre-quarantine stuff, but there you have it. Anyway, man, I had something I was going to talk about today, but ended up talking about Shields instead. Oh well, that's okay. Today's weather, it's a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful day. It's about 70, upper 70s, I'd say, maybe 80. It was sunny all day, and the clouds just came out this afternoon, which kind of makes me think there'll be rain. April showers bring May flowers. We know what May flowers bring? Pilgrims. And that segues us very nicely into dad jokes. I wish I had a graphic to put right there. Dad jokes. Um, but Mayflowers bring us pilgrims. Um, as I've been or stuck around the house this quarantine season, I've been doing a little bit of redecorating. And I was going to put some things on the walls, but I thought that was tacky. Tacky? Tacky? That's okay. All right. I need to get my laugh tracks back is what I need. You guys are not cutting it, clearly. Oh, and I had another good one too. I forgot. I also need to write my jokes down, which, of course. When I bought this mic, I did a little bit of testing on it. My favorite way to test a mic is to say, I've got a Czechoslovak, or I've got a Russian friend. I have a lot of Eastern European friends. In fact, I have a Czech one too. Czech 1, 2. Ah, boy. Tacky jokes. That's all right. It's interesting to just kind of look around for props. Yeah, I just a joke about shoes, but I don't think they'd stand on their own. Okay. I'm glad this is at least bringing me joy in my house by myself. It's so funny. It's actually really funny. Sometimes I'll tell a joke on here, and my roommate is sometimes here when I'm making this podcast, and she'll just kind of peek around the corner and just like look at me, and she's like, "Why? That joke's not even that funny." And I'm like, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is." Oh boy. But let's see. I'm trying to think of the one thing I was going to say. Oh, the project, one of the other projects that I've been working on, I showed you guys my planter box. But the other big project that I've been working on is kind of going through the SDA hymnal and making a database of my own on Google Sheets of all the hymns, and 2, putting all the hymns into MuseScore, which is an online free music notation service. And there's some really good ones in there, lyric wise, melody wise, that we just never sing. And it's a lot of fun to do that. It's to just kind of see what's out there. I discover every time I go through, I do about like 10 a day. If I do them, I do about 10. So I haven't been doing like 10 a day. I'm not on day. Oh man, if I'd been doing 10 a day, I would have been on like number 320 today. Rats. I'm only up to number 82. So we're working on that. That one is, by the way, Before Jehovah's Awful Throne. Great song. It's called Duke Street. Funny story about that. One time I was when I was learning saxophone, I was taking it with a teacher named David Gonzalez, and we got to this piece in my book that was called Duke Street, and I played it, and he was like, "Wait a second, that's Before Jehovah's Awful Throne." I was like, sure. And he's like, "No, why would they call it Duke Street? That's sacrilege. That's terrible." And then he grabbed a hymnal and he looked at it. He's like, "Oh, well, I guess that's the name of the tune." So I stand corrected. But I just find it funny. One of the interesting things about the hymnal, if you don't know, is that each song has a name, obviously a title, but many of them have tune names as well. For example, the tune Danny Boy or I Cannot Tell in the hymnal is that the tune is actually called Londonderry Air. Or the tune of Praise God from Whom All Blessings Flow is actually called old 100th. And so you can use these tunes in different places. But if you're ever looking for a song to sing for special music, if somebody's like, yeah, can you do special music, or can you sing for this event or something like that, and you have no idea what to do, I'm going to change your life. Take your hymnal, go to the back of the hymnal, and find the meter index. So let's find it here. The meter index. And I think most hymnals have this. So if you have a non-SDA hymnal, or you have a Lutheran hymnal, or you have an old SDA hymnal, those work too. The indexes back here are very useful. Okay, here it is. The metrical index of tunes. Okay, so you go into the metrical index of tunes, and you find one song that you know, and you match it with another song that you know, or the words that you might know. So let's say that I choose to do CM with refrain. Now the metrics are like the amount of syllables per line. So CM is common meter. I don't remember what the actual, how many syllables there are, but essentially these will line up. So the first two is CM with refrain are At the Cross, number 163, and God Will Take Care of You. So what you can do, and this is pretty cool, is you take the lyrics from At the Cross and you sing it to the tune of God Will Take Care of You. And it should work because they have the same meter. There you go, life hack. Or you could do, let's see, There's Sunshine in My Soul Today, which is same common meter with refrain, and At the Cross. So, there's sunshine in my soul today. Da, 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 da. Let's switch it around. At the cross, where her soul lies, and burning on my heart all the way. Let's try it out. 470. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Okay. 470. Thanks for hanging with me as I teach you life hacks and special music. Okay, so you could sing the words of There's Sunshine in My Soul Today to the tune of At the Cross. Okay? There's sunshine in my soul today, more glorious and bright than glows in any earthly sky, for Jesus is my light. Oh, there's sunshine, sunshine, blessed sunshine in my soul. When the peaceful, happy moments roll. This one doesn't work quite as well with the chorus, but it does work with any other song. And there are quite a few songs that you can do with that. So if you ever have a conundrum and you're not sure what to sing, check out the metrical index. And there are some life hacks with Renee. This has been another episode of Today in Quarantine with your host, Renee Cross. Tune in tomorrow in quarantine for another episode of Today in Quarantine, and we'll see you there. Wash your hands, stay safe, and practice social distancing. See you, everybody.